Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Zainab. Thank you so much for coming back for part 2 of my reading of Sermon 89 from Nahjul Balagha, which is called Khutbatul Ashbah, or the Sermon of Spirits, and was delivered by Amir al-Mu'mineen, or Imam Ali alayhi salam, during his caliphate, because someone requested for him to describe the attributes of Allah, which of course is impossible. He does not have legs, he does not have hands, he does not have eyes, etc. Okay, I'm gonna start where I left off from part 1, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. They are wrong, those who liken you to their idols and outfit you with apparels of the creatures through their imagination, attributing to you parts of body through their own way of thinking. They regard you to be akin to creatures of various types through the working of their intelligence. I testify that whoever equates you with any of your creation models a likeness for you. Whoever takes a likeness for you is an unbeliever, according to what is stated in your unambiguous verses, and is indicated by the testimony of your clear arguments. I also testify that you are Allah, who cannot be confined to the fetters of intelligence so as to admit change of condition through entertaining his imagination, nor in the shackles of mind so as to become limited, an object subject to alterations. He has fixed limits for everything which he has created, making the limits firm, and he has fixed its working, making such working delicate. He has fixed its direction. It does not transgress the limits of its status, nor does it fall short of reaching the end of its aim. It does not disobey when it is commanded to move by his will. How can it do so when all matters are governed by his will? He is the producer of a variety of things without an exercise of imagination, without the urge of an impulse hidden in him, without the benefit of any experiment taken from the vicissitudes of time, and without any partner who might have assisted him in creating wonderful things. Thus the creation was completed by his order, and it bowed down to his obedience and responded to his call. The laziness of any slug or the inertness of any excuse finder did not prevent it from doing so. He straightened the curves of things, fixed their limits. Through his power, he created coherence in their contradictory parts, joining together the factors of similarity. Then he separated them in species which differ in limits, quantities, properties, and shapes. All this is new creation. He made them firm and shaped them as he wished and invented. He has arranged the depressions and elevations of the openings of the sky. He has joined the breadths of his breaches and has joined them with one another. He has facilitated the approach to its heights for those angels who come down with his commands and those angels who go up with the deeds of the creatures. He called it when it was yet in the form of vapor. At once the links of its parts joined up. Then Allah opened up its closed gate and put the sentinels of meteors at its holes, holding them with his hands, i.e. power, from falling into the vastness of space. He commanded it to remain stationary in obedience to his order. He made its sun the bright indication for its day and its moon the gloomy indication of its night. He then put them in motion in their orbits and ordained their pace of motion in the stages of their paths in order to distinguish through them between night and day, and so that the reckoning of years and calculations may be known by their fixed movements. Then he hung in its vastness the sky and put therein as its decoration consisting of stars like bright pearls and lamps. He shot at the overhearers arrows of bright meteors. He put them in motion in their appointed routine, making them fixed stars, moving stars, descending stars, ascending stars, ominous stars, and lucky stars. Then Allah, the most glorified one, created for the inhabiting of his skies and populating the higher strata of his realm, new variety of beings, namely the angels. With them he filled the openings of its cavities and populated them with the vastness of its circumference. In between the openings of these cavities there resounds the voices of the angels glorifying him in the enclosures of sublimity, behind curtains of concealment and in veils of his greatness. And behind this resounding, which deafens the ears, there is the glory of light, which defies the approaching vision, and consequently vision stands, disappointed at its own limitation. He created them in different shapes and characteristics. They have wings. They glorify the sublimity of his honor. They do not appropriate to themselves his skill that shows itself in creating, nor do they claim that they create anything in which he is unparalleled. The Holy Quran says, "But they are, rather, honored creatures who do not take precedence over him in uttering anything, and they act according to his command." And that's from chapter 21, ayahs 26 and 27. He has appointed them the trustees of his revelation, dispatched them to his prophets, and as holders of his injunctions and prohibitions. He has protected them against the wavering of doubts. Consequently, no one among them strays from the path of his will. He has helped them with the benefits of succor and covered their hearts with humility and peace. He has opened for them doors of submission to his glories. He has fixed for them bright minarets as signs of his oneness. The weights of sins do not burden them, and the rotation of nights and days does not affect. Doubts do not attack with arrows the firmness of their faith. Misgivings do not assault the basis of their beliefs. The spark of malice does not ignite among them. Amazement does not tarnish what knowledge of him their hearts possess, or his greatness and awe of glory that resides in their bosoms. Evil thoughts do not lean towards them to affect their imagination with their own rust. MashaAllah, such beautiful words. Among them are those who are within the frame of heavy clouds, or in the height of lofty mountains, or in the gloom of overpowering darkness. And there are those whose feet have pierced the lowest boundaries of the earth. These feet are like white ensigns, which have gone forth into the vast expanse of space. Under them blows the light wind which retains them till the end. Being occupied in worshiping him has made them carefree. The realities of faith have served as a link between them and his knowledge. Their belief in him has made them concrete on him. They long for him, not for others. They have tasted the sweetness of his knowledge and have drunk from the satiating cup of his love. The roots of his fear have been implanted in the depths of their hearts. Consequently, they have bent their straight backs through his worship. The length of the humility and extreme nearness has not removed the rope of fear from them. They do not entertain pride so as to make much of their deeds. Their humility before the glory of Allah does not allow them to esteem their own virtues. Languor does not affect them despite their perpetuated toil. Their longings for him do not lessen so that they might turn away from hope in Allah, their sustainer.